Every time a reader reads a new story from Murakami, he is arrested by Murakami's surrealistic macrocosms. Murakami's magic lies in creating a delusion where the reader is open to understand a story in a certain way, based on the perception of the reader itself. Where most of the stories from Murakami have been a work of magical surrealism, delusion, magical realism, and realism. The beauty of Murakami's writing lies in the fact that each of his work is different in its own manner. There are many books involving complex plots and labyrinths, but today in this video, we are rather going to talk about this simple story, Birthday Girl. The book has split Murakami's fans into two parties, where one thinks that the book is simple and basic and lacks Murakami's charm, and the other still believes that there are many deep meanings that Murakami has left for the readers, especially the curious ending. To celebrate Murakami's 70th birthday, Penguin republished the short story. The book is mere 40 pages long and consists of a minimalistic tale, littered with nuances and multiple interpretations for the reader to enjoy. The story is about a woman with children who recounts to another girl what happened on her 20th birthday. She is introduced as a young girl on her birthday who was a student in Tokyo and worked part-time in an Italian restaurant. She had to work on her special day too, as her friend called in sick at the last minute. Though she does not complain about having to work on her birthday, as she also had a fight with her boyfriend recently, and due to certain unmentioned reasons, something inside her turned rock hard and died. The characters of the story are as follows. The floor manager. The floor manager takes great pride in his appearance and his work. He wears a hand-tied bow tie every day. The other slightly noticeable character is the one who works in the register and seems immobile and mute as she sits in the same place and rarely speaks. The old man, or the owner. The old man is the most important character of the story. He is a mysterious character, an old man who is not seen by anyone but the manager. The manager is the only person who visits him and serves him his food. The story continues as the reader learns that the restaurant was quiet until the manager keeled over and got sick. Since this was unusual for him, he decides to go to the hospital. Before he gets the cab, he asks the girl to take the diner up to the owner's room, which was quite unusual, as it has always been done by the manager. The girl did not deny, and the story proceeds. When the time comes, the unnamed girl delivers the dinner to the owner of the restaurant. When she gets to the door, she rings the bell and waits. The owner opens the door and she explains why this normal delivery guy isn't there. Remember, it's the floor manager's shop, but he got sick. She sets his food down, but before she can leave, he asks for 5 minutes of her time and she gives it to him. When the owner finds out it's her birthday, he offers her a toast, saying, "May you live a rich and fruitful life, and may there be nothing to cast dark shadows on it." This is a little creepy, she thinks. Next, the owner explains that this coincidence of the meeting has to be a special convergence, and so he must give a gift to her and refers to her as a fairy. She is confused and almost embarrassed. He is adamant and tells her that he will grant her a wish. Even though she thinks the old man is full of it, she decides to play along. The wish is made, and everything that is known by reading is that the girl seems to be happier than she was before. Murakami then takes us to a different time, where the girl has grown up into a married lady with children. And now we know that this is a story she was telling to another person. The story isn't a big story, rather it is a simple story and does not contain any complex ideas. But when you finish it, you drown in a sea of contemplations. The more you think about it, the more the story pulls you down towards itself. It is indeed based on post-narration strategy or PNS, where the end is left on the reader itself. But there are some hints that Murakami has given us. And these hints gives us the three main questions of the story. Can the old man grant wishes? Did the girl get her wish fulfilled? And the most important, what was the wish? And who is the narrator of the story? Murakami in the story has left subtle hints to make us understand that the old man can actually grant wishes. This can be seen from the dialogues of the old man when the girl approaches his room. It can be noted that the old man presents three wishes. The first two are offered indirectly, and at last he offered her a wish. These three wishes conclude that the wishes are offered by a genie. As we know, a genie is known for granting three wishes. So this incident can be related with the genie itself. So what exactly are the wishes? When we look at the dialogues, we figure out the wishes aren't something a 20-year-old girl wishes for. Secondly, in this dialogue, Murakami tries to give a contrast between old and young through the story. He also presents the story in a manner that makes our thoughts swim with the flow and continuity of time. Rather than a young crowd, the restaurant drew an older clientele that included some famous stage people and writers. The two full-time waiters worked 6 days a week. And finally, the most important quote from the book. No matter what they wish for, no matter how far they go, people can never be anything but themselves. That's all. The wish that the girl makes was to swap her life with the old man. Now, it might confuse you, or it also might have irritated you for a second. Let's keep this conclusion aside and let's talk about the last dialogue of the story. So the narrator is the future self of the girl and she's telling this story to her past self. This can be proved by this statement. When the lady asks the girl what wish she would make, she tells her that nothing comes to her mind when she thinks about a wish. To which the lady replies, "That's because you've already made your wish." This states that the lady is talking to her past self. If we merge these two theories, we create a paradox. If the lady has swapped her life with the old man, that will mean that the past self of the old man is the lady. So the lady and the old man are the same people, just in a different time frame. When the girl demands a wish for swapping her life with the old man, she is not granting a wish, but she is gifting something. This now seems to be the irony of the story. But if we look closely, this is not an irony, but it makes sense as the old man is the birthday girl too. The old man and the girl complete each other. The girl helps the old man get into a young body, which he is living happily now. The girl who becomes the old man in future will again become the young girl, as in future she will meet her past, creating an infinite paradoxical loop. Well, this explanation might seem absurd, but it provides a deep sense of fulfillment if we understand this. The old man is someone who has power to give and probably has always giving things to others. It's his karma that makes him receive the gift in the end, a gift of youth. The old man never complains about his food, nor does he demand something. Thus, he understands life better than anybody else. Through the beginning of the story, we can see that the story displays a sad and melancholic atmosphere which states the purpose of adversity in our lives. The rain symbolizes sadness and adversity. It is the reason there are fewer people in the hotel that day. The stomachache the manager faces represent adversity too. Well, this is my interpretation of the story. Is it 100% true? Who knows? Might be or might not be. Can it have other explanations? Yes. There are infinite possibilities of what the girl must have wished for. That's the beauty of this story. So thanks for watching the video. If you liked the explanation, please feel free to comment. I would also like to hear your interpretation of the story. Feel free to comment on that too. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you and keep reading.